Alright, y'all. We're gonna do a headlight restoration on this. Of this car. Um, this is the product of which we're gonna be trying out. It's kind of the cheapest thing. I usually like to use the 3M stuff because it comes with some masking tape and some other miscellaneous pieces, but I've heard some pretty good things about Turtle Wax's stuff, so our step one is to wash the headlight. To remove surface dirt, I went ahead and washed the whole car. Step 2 is to apply the lens clarifying compound to a cotton cloth and rub over. Okay, firm pressure buff with the cloth. Okay, so I'll just pause a second and we're going to zoom in on that. Okay, so this is the lens clarifying compound. I just got it on a microfiber towel. We're going to medium pressure buff this in. I'm pretty firm on it. I'm sorry if the camera's shaking excessively. I'm trying to do this one-handed. Oh, and stuff is falling because it's ever so slightly windy. We're gonna buff it, and then we're gonna flip the towel and clean it. And we're gonna see. Well, I'll tell you what. That, my friends, turned out pretty freaking clear. And this is the better of the two headlights. So I think I may rinse and repeat. It turned out really clear. That's okay. That's already a bigger improvement. Oh, that way you guys can get a good shot of it. I did improve it quite a bit. Now granted, well, that's going to be the bear. So, let's move over to the other side and see how it does. I'm going to be working on this headlight. So we're going to apply... So, in the case of like this headlight where it turned out rather clear... I got my wife out here now. Where it turned out rather clear after just using the rubbing compound that they provided, or the clarifying compound that they provided. I want you just to clear coat it, but I gotta do both headlights at the exact same time. So, we're gonna start on this side and we're gonna buff it. We're gonna work this stuff in it. Just gonna keep on. Gotta keep it. Makes some funny sounds now, doesn't it? Alright, we're just gonna keep on buffing. Okay, well, I got some of that buffing compound in places where it shouldn't be, but that's okay. We're just gonna continue to buff it. See if I could just reply directly. We're gonna do a couple of passes with this. And then we're gonna flip the towel, clean it off. I want you to use 2 different towels for this, but that's already a big improvement. But this side we're definitely gonna have to sand it down. So, all right. Back to the one. We're gonna put on. So, there's multiple pads in here. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we gotta go in order. This is the spray lubricant. Wonder, is this already... It is. It's just basically so...
Ooh, it's kind of windy out.
Yeah, it is windy. That's okay. Best practice, whenever you're using a a wet sand, you wet both the paper and, oh goodness gracious me, slipping right out of my hand. You wet both the sandpaper and the surface. So we got one. We're gonna go ahead and wipe it. Okay. And we're gonna go opposite directions. And we're gonna go ahead and douse, 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 douse. I kind of went side to side with it. Now I'm gonna go up and down for the best part of what I can. And we're gonna clean it off. See that it's gotten foggy. It's okay, just trust the process. It's meant to be foggy like that. Okay. Now it's time for number 2. It's just basically soapy water, so if it gets all over the place, it gets all over the place, it's just fine. And we're gonna go back and forth. And we're gonna wipe it down. Yeah. And we're gonna spray it down again. And we're gonna go up and down. Now I'm using, mind you, again, I'm using the number 2 side, because this is my step 2. Make kits that can hook up to a drill, like that 3M kit that I mentioned earlier, that I typically would like. We're gonna try to get the whole ends, and then we're gonna go back over it with this circular pattern now that we're getting into the finer grits. We're gonna clean it off. Now, we're gonna move on to number 3. Rinse and repeat. Woo! Everything going. There's some important stuff there. That's okay. It fell over here, the important stuff did, so feel pretty good. I kinda got my eyes. You know what? Most people don't tell you this, but you should be wearing safety glasses even more. Just sanding something down pretty quick. Okay. Number 3, we're gonna go. I'm gonna start with an up and down this time, because it seems to be the more difficult of the two. Okay. Wipe it down. And when I'm wiping it down every single time, kind of the benefit of it is to see if I missed a spot. So that way I can go back and like kind of cut and buff that spot a little bit more. Now we're going to go back and forth with this one.
You're almost there. Look at the other one.
Yeah, it's getting a lot better. Yeah, okay. So now let's do number 4. My only complaint is that my hand's starting to cramp after doing all this. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Number 4 is really clearing that thing up. Now it's gonna have a slight haze no matter what I do until I put in the oof. Well, whenever you wet it down, you'll see what it's gonna look like the end product. So if I left it like this, that's how clear it will go. I'm gonna go up and down now. And we're gonna just medium pressure. Up and down, 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 up and down. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Up and down. Now we're gonna wipe it again. There's gonna be an ever so slight haze. If you guys go back to the beginning of the video, see just how much clearer it is. So, lens base coat wipe. Alright. Pause the video recording, please. Tip of the trade. If you're not 100% sure, read the directions again, read the directions again, read the directions again. You can ask my wife, I've probably read them like 100 times already. But I'm still going to double check to make sure that I'm doing it correctly. The last thing that you need on anything is to mess it up. Now this, we reapply the clarifying paste. Is our final step, is to reapply this stuff. We just kind of buff it in there pretty good. Make sure that we get fully covered. And finally we will flip the towel and dry it off. And if it's not quite to your liking 100%, you can apply again until you are satisfied with the results. Now, granted, like I said, if you're curious as to how it will look whenever it's all said and done, put it back down. And that is good enough for me. I think it's going to turn out just right. So, the next step, double check the directions. The next step, dry it. Open the pouch containing the lens base coat. Lens base coat. But since this side turned out just fine, after just applying, so we're just gonna swipe, 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 swipe. Make sure it gets nice and even, and that it's fully coated. Now I used one side, I'm gonna flip it. This is what the glove is for. And we're gonna lens base coat. See what I was talking about? That's pretty accurate for how it's gonna be when we're all said and done. So after that, then go. Coating will cure within 24 hours. Once dry, immediately follow the lens sealing wipe. So let it dry. Are we dry? I think we're pretty dry. Just want to kind of swipey shwoo right over the top of it just to kind of spread it around nice and evenly. Because I've seen that it was kind of clogging in a small area. This stuff should dry rather quickly, so give it just about a minute. Okay. This side, I've seen I see no imperfections, so we're doing okay here. We're gonna use this lens sealing wipe now. Now you can unfold this. I can get it just right. So you can unfold it to where it's just... Now it'll take a full 24 hours for this thing to cure. Now granted, I got the day off today, so I ain't really moving. Double check to make sure it's all nice and dry, and then we're gonna go back over the top of it with the sealing wipe. Because you want to make sure that as soon as that stuff dries, it gets the sealer in there. Now, like that, we basically, for $15, have brand new headlights. Headlight 1, look at that. Bah!